The tragic downfall of 2023 Roblox anime games. For those of you that were around in early 2023, you probably know the expectations for this year were really high. We thought it was going to be one of the best years for Roblox anime games of all time. So for the year to fall apart like it did, we need to talk about it. Because if 2024 ends up like 2023 did, we actually might be in shambles. The Roblox anime community might be finished. So at the start of 2023, we got Pixel Piece, and we thought this was the all-time low that we wouldn't go below at the time. And if you don't know why Pixel Piece was such a disappointment, well, they pretty much lied about the entire game. For example, I believe they said there was going to be like 14 fruits. They ended up releasing with like 5 or 6. They also said the progression was going to be completely unique and not a bandit beater, and they had the perfect progression formula just to end up releasing a basic bandit beater. And if you thought that was bad, that's not even mentioning that the game had 0 anti-cheat and people are spawning in fruits everywhere, literally infinite fruits everywhere. And the main reason I'm bringing up Pixel Piece is because Pixel Piece was not even close to the worst game that released this year. It felt like it was going to be at the time, but oh, we got much worse. One of the games that I would personally say was worse is Weria II. A lot of people were excited for Weria II, and I really can't tell you why, because they really shouldn't have been. And if you wonder why I say that, let me tell you some of the highlights. One of the highlights, for example, is there was no blood demon arts in a Demon Slayer game. I know. You might be thinking I'm trolling, but there was actually no blood demon arts. But honestly, the first like 30 minutes or so of gameplay in Weria II was actually surprisingly decent, but after that, the game was literally broken and it wasn't even really developed. Like, I remember I streamed the game with Revolver AGZ for like 12 hours, and after like the 4th hour, we really did not even level up because there was really no progression for us. And just in general, Weria II had like 85 game-breaking bugs, and it feels like they tried for the first few hours of gameplay, but then after that, they literally gave up on the game completely and just released it how it was. But if you guys thought a Demon Slayer game with no blood demon arts was bad, try a One Piece game with no devil fruits, because that's what One Piece New Dreams was, which was a One Piece game that released somewhat recently. The game had no tutorial, no direction, and pretty much told the player nothing, and the whole excuse for problems like this was just, oh, it's a hardcore game, it's not supposed to tell you anything. And in my opinion, that's just kind of lazy. I do understand it is a hardcore game, so maybe it doesn't need to walk you through everything, but there is some base level knowledge you could tell the player. Like, every time I've seen people bring up the problem of them not telling the player anything, I always see people say, well, you want them to walk you through everything, and that's literally not what people are saying. They're just saying they want a base level knowledge when they get into the game, like a tutorial. But if you thought that was the only bad One Piece game we got this year, oh, you don't know. You're not ready for what I'm about to tell you. We got Axior's game called Fruit Warriors, arguably the best game of all time. Fruit Warriors was essentially block fruits but put in a simulator type of game. I believe everything you did, you got like little stat boosts, and it was essentially just a worse version of Blox Fruits. Now, the funny part about Fruit Warriors is it actually had quite a bit of success despite everybody knowing it was pretty much trash. And it had so much success, in fact, that Axior has not posted since he released that game. He literally used the money he got from that to go on a year-long vacation. I remember some of the devs were talking about how this was a passion project and they were super passionate about it, just for the game to only get 2 updates. Like, at least if you're passionate about it, I would expect at least, 3 or 4. But maybe I need to chill on Fruit Warriors, because 2 updates is actually a lot better than some of these other games got. For example, Pirates Destiny, I don't even believe got 1 update. Pirates Destiny, in my opinion, was very similar to Weria II, except in a One Piece game, and just a lot different in general. But let me explain what I'm trying to say. Pirates Destiny actually looked like it had some sort of passion and some sort of direction at one point in time, but as you go further and further in the game, it loses that direction. It looks like they really just stopped caring about the game. And another thing about Pirates Destiny, which is really a common thing throughout this list, is Pirates Destiny had a ton of game-breaking bugs. It was another case of the million bugs one day before release and trying to fix all of them in one day, and what do you know, they didn't fix all of them in one day. But now I want to move on to a special category in 2023, arguably my favorite category, the scam category. And don't worry, I heard you guys, we got a lot of nominations for this category, but out of all the games that released this year, only 2 games really met the scam category to me. One of them known as Type Soul or Type Scam, and one of them known as Grand Kaisen or Grand Scam. Now, Type Soul was actually one of the best games that released this year, but the odds were quite literally not what they actually appeared to be, which is quite literally deceiving the player and is a scam. I believe I was the first one to actually call them out on this, and I actually ended up being right. So SwiftDFG actually, he did some good detective work there. I'm proud of him. But the entire Type Soul situation was crazy, because I know a ton of people that spent hundreds of dollars on Type Soul just to literally get nothing, like 500 plus, and got nothing. And not only did they get nothing, even if they did get something somehow, Type Soul has 38 players now, so either way, I know they're regretting it, including my uncle, my real life uncle AGZ, who spent 500 on it. But the second game in the scam category has got to be Grand Kaisen. Now, I'm sure most of you guys already are familiar with the Grand Kaisen situation since it literally happened like a week or 2 ago, but Grand Kaisen quite literally released an empty map with 5 bandits and 35 game-breaking bugs and called it a video game. They quite literally surpassed the bandit beater category and opened a new limit, a new category called the Bandit Finders. In Grand Kaisen, instead of beating bandits for your whole gameplay experience, you spend your whole gameplay experience trying to find the bandits. I think I speak for all of us when I say this is the innovation we all wanted. Grand Kaisen also had a data issue where people that spend on Grand Kaisen did not actually keep the things they spend for, and they didn't refund them. And I think the craziest part about all of that is Grand Kaisen still has like 4,000 players. I'm trying to figure out what they're actually playing because there's literally nothing to do in that game. Now lastly, we gotta talk about My Hero Academia Battlegrounds, which is also a very recent game and might actually cause the death of Roblox anime games. My personal favorite part about My Hero Academia Battlegrounds has got to be that it's not even a Battlegrounds game. In fact, I don't even believe you can PvP in the game. I'm sure most of you guys are already familiar with the situation, but essentially they got the real rights to My Hero Academia, and they used the rights to take down every game using My Hero Academia assets, including games that weren't even fully My Hero Academia games like Anime Adventures. Now those were the downfalls of pretty much every bad game that released in 2023, or at least the ones off the top of my head. I didn't include every game, I only included the ones that were really bad. I mean, that was pretty much every game that released this year, I'm gonna be real. But also, if y'all want to help me beat the hell out of the algorithm, I'd appreciate it if y'all want to click the like and subscribe button. It helps the channel a lot. Appreciate y'all, love y'all, later.